Dear student, my last topic is about the tuples, dictionary, and what is Python. We have discussed for class 11th earlier. Now, today's topic is about the OOPS, object-oriented programming language. What is object-oriented concepts? And we have discussed so many programs with there. In 2-3 videos. So in first video we will understand about the concepts of object-oriented programming language. Now today's topic is general OOPS concepts. So now there is must have to understand two languages, high level languages and low level languages. Why we use programs, why we write programs, we must have to understand. After that we will start with the general OOPS concepts. General OOPS concepts are mainly, before this we have to understand mainly two things which is very important, that is evolution of software. Evolution of software is mainly developing of high level languages and low level languages. Low level language understand by the computer and high level language are those languages which is understand by the human being, by which human being communicate to the computer and computer understand low level language. On the other hand, offer English like keywords, constructs for sequence, selections and iteration and use of vibrations and constants. Thus, it is very easy to program with such languages compared to low level languages. A programming language should serve have to related purpose. It should provide a vehicle for a programmer to specify actions to be executed, and it should provide a set of concepts for the programmer to use when thinking about what can be done. The first aspects ideally require a language that is close to the machine so that all important aspects of a machines are handled. Now, here is paradigms means organizing principles of programs. In it is an approach in programming. We understand actually we have so many problems with the procedural and modular programming is that their shape, components, function, etc. do not model the real world very well. For instance, a procedural programming program for library maintenance aims at the operations issues, return, etc. Whereas the real world entities are books, but books are giving second class status in the program. We will understood this program for clarity in the next paradigm, that is object. It means that the problem which occurs in paradigms we solve in object oriented paradigms. It means that the object related programming, that programming is related to the object. Object is the small entity of the word. Whatever the entities you have seen, whatever the object you have seen is called entity. The smallest entity is an object. So object is an identifiable entity with some characteristic and behavior. To understand this understand the most recent concept along programming paradigms, let us take an example. We have to prepare a lot of dishes that involve baking, for instance cake, biscuit, pie, dhokla, pastries, but we have to write program for it using procedural programming paradigms. We will have to write separate programs for every recipe, and each program will be containing instructions for operating oven. Ovens are used to make a lot of different dishes, so we don't to create a new oven every time. We construct a recipe every time, but in a oven. So this is so there is easy that a program have where your different recipes are become. to iterable. However, it is the same problem is solved using object approaches. It will not only be less complex but also make software reuse feasible and possible. The object-oriented approach views as problems in terms of object involving rather than procedure for doing it. Object is an identifiable entity with some characteristic and behavior. For instance, we can say orange is an object. It is an object. Its characteristics are its spherical shape, its color is orange, its behavior is juicy, and its taste is sweet and sour. While programming using OOPS approach, the characteristic of objects are represented by its data and its behavior is represented by its functions associated. Therefore, in OOPS, programming object represents an entity that can store data and its have an interface through functions. A class is a group of objects that share common properties and relationships. As you know, procedural programming paradigms focus on the procedure on the working actions. Here is the basic concepts of OOPS. Basic concepts of OOPS are data abstractions, data encapsulation, modularity, inheritance, and polymorphism. Before this, we have to understand about the class. Using procedural programming paradigms, the above sets problems will be viewed in terms of working happening in their traffic flow, moving, halting, turning. These OOPS paradigms, however, aims to the object and their interface. This OOPS approach the traffic flow problems will be viewed in terms of object involved. The object involves are car, trucks, buses, scooters, auto rickshaws with the elaborations. So this is called the class, and now we have to understand about the data abstractions. Before we have to understand, we know that the data abstractions refers to the act of representing essential features without including the background details or explanations. It means that to understand abstraction, let us take an example. You are driving a car. You only know the essential features to drive a car: gear handling, steering handling, stream handling, use the clutch, acceleration, brakes, etc. But you don't know what is the program written behind this. It means that if you are going to operate something without knowing what is going on behind this is called the data abstraction. It means that you are abstracted something, but you don't know what is behind this. It means that if you are operating a switch, you know only the on or off, but what is the functioning going on behind this, you don't know. This is called the data abstractions. Now, for what is happening inside the hidden form, this is detail or explanation you don't know. Take another example of switchboard. As I have given the on and off, you only press then certain switches according to your requirements. What is happening inside, how it is happening, etc., you need not know. So again, this is abstraction. You know only the essential things to operate on switchboard without knowing the background details of switchboard. So this is called the data abstractions. Now if you are going to operate the oven is predefined, that there is some functions to heat, to low the to set the temperature, but you don't know how it is working. So this is called, only you are going to operate this. As a coffee machine, you are going to operate this, but you don't know what is the function behind this. This is called the data abstraction. Now encapsulation is the most fundamental concepts of OOP. It is very way of combining both data and the functions that are operate on that data under a single unit. The wrapping up on a data and functions into a single unit is known as encapsulations. The only way of access the data is provided by the functions. These functions are called member functions in C++. The data cannot be accessed directly. If you want to read a data item in an object, you call a member functions in the object, it will read the item and return the value to you. Know the you cannot access the data directly. The data is hidden, so it's safe from accidental alterations. Data and its functions are said to be encapsulations into a single entity. Let us now consider an analogy to encapsulations in a big company. These are so many departments: sales department, accounting departments, payroll departments, purchase department, etc. etc. So each department has its own personnel that maintain its data. Suppose an employee is the productions department wants to know how much raw material has been purchased for the next month. So the procedure department employee would not be allowed to himself go through purchase department data files. Rather, I will have you to issue a memo to the purchase requesting for required the information. The some employee of the purchase department will go through the purchase data finish and the second to replay with the ask information. The practice ensure that the data is accessed accurately and that is not corrupted by in, inept outsiders. Therefore, we can say that department data and department employees are encapsulated into a single entity, the department, in the same way. Now, encapsulation is a way of implement data abstractions. Encapsulation inside the detail of the implementation of an object. Abstraction and encapsulations are complementary concepts. It means that both are complementary. Abstraction focus upon the observable behavior of an object. It means that if there is a switchboard, now you think that there is a switchboard and here is a 2-3 members which are operating the switchboard. One is going to open the rod one or you can say CFL1. Second is going to turn on the CFL2. Third is going to both three objects are operating the abstracting the data. It means that three persons are going to operate. So this is called the encapsulation is an implement data abstractions. Now here the secret information which is not essential is hidden: department profile, loss, stock, etc. The information is made available only if the request is made through. So this is called the encapsulation. It means that you are asking from someone to. Now come to the modularity. What is modularity? Modularity is the property of a system that has been decomposed into a set of successive and loosely coupled modules. The act of portioning a program into individual components is called modularity. The justification of portioning a program is that it reduces its complexity to some degree and it creates a number of well-defined documented boundaries within the program. A module is a separate unit itself. It can be compiled separately through it has connections with other module. Now come to the inheritance. To understanding the inheritance, it is critical to understand the whole point behind object-oriented programming. Inheritance is the capability of one class of thing to inherit capabilities of properties from another class. For instance, we are human. We inherit from the class humans certain properties such as ability to speak, breathe, etc., drinks, etc. But the Properties are not unique to human. The class human inherits these properties from the class mammals, which again inherit some of properties from another class animals. We take our same old examples car. The car inherits some of its properties from the class automobiles, which inherits some of its properties from another class vehicles. The capability to pass down properties is a powerful one. It allows us to describe things in an economical way. The object oriented language expresses the inheritance relationships by allowing one class to inherit from another. Thus, a model developed by language is much closer to the real world. The principle behind this sort of division is that each subclass shares common characteristic the class from which it is derived. Now, automobile and pulled vehicles are subclass of vehicle. Vehicle is base class of automobile, and pulled vehicles, cars, bus are subclass of automobiles. Automobiles is the base class of car and bus. Here is shown in a figure vehicle, automobiles and pulled vehicles. Vehicles are both. So if you are going to think about the vehicle, so this is in your mind which kind of vehicle. Vehicle are mainly automobiles and pulled vehicles which you can see and use. Now automobiles, car, bus, so many others, and pulled vehicles, craft, rickshaw. So these are inherited by the vehicles. These vehicles are inherited. Now, why we use inheritance? As we know that this is object oriented programming language. Oops. So it is very easy to use for making user friendly. We are going to make a user friendly language, so we make it very easy to and to be very close to human being. So there are several reasons why inheritance was introduced into OOPS language. We are discussing here some major reasons behind introduction of inheritance. That is, number one, before polymorphism we have to complete this. Another, the major reasons behind this is capability of express the inheritance relationships which are makes to ensure the closeness with the real world. Number two is another reason is idea of reusability. Number three is the transitive natures. These are the facts why use inheritance. Now come to the point, polymorphism. Polymorphism is the key to the power of object oriented programming. It is so important that language that do not support polymorphism cannot advertise themselves as object oriented languages. Languages that support classes but not polymorphisms are called object based language and is such a language. Here is a polymorphism is the ability for a message or data to be processed in more than one form. Polymorphism is the concept of support for capability of an object of a class to behave differently in a response to a message and actions. For instance, human is a subclass of mammals. Similarly, dog, cat are also subclass of mammals. Mammals can see through daylight. So, if a message see through daylight is a pass to all mammals, they all will behave like. Now, if a message see through night is passed to all mammals that past all mammals, that all will behave alike. Now, if a message see through night is passed to all mammals, then human and dogs will not be able to view at night whereas cats will be able to view during night also. Here cats can behave differently than other mammals in response to a message or actions. This is polymorphisms. Take another example. If we give 5 plus 7, it results into 12, the sum 5 and 7, and if we give a plus bc, it results into abc, the connected strings. The same orientation, the same operation symbol plus is able to distinguish. Here, now, here is given an example that a single function's name can be used to handle different numbers and different types of arguments. This is something similar to particular word having several different meanings depending on the context. Now, polymorphism is a property of which the same message can be sent to object to several different classes. So, if you people understand these concepts and if it is useful for you to share and like and subscribe my channel. Now, these are very important. So, let's remember. Thank you.